Hey there, we're Talia and Ophira Edut, identical twins and astrologers. Welcome to AstroTwins Radio, where we bring the stars down to Earth.
This week, love gets serious and supersized. It is January 22nd to 28th, 2024, and let's get into the weekly forecast. The action starts on Tuesday, January 23rd, when Venus, the planet of amore, changes signs for the first time since December 29th. It's been in Sagittarius, kind of making everyone a little bit prone to a wandering eye. And now it's going into Capricorn. So Capricorn likes serious long-term planning. Capricorn wants to know, where do we stand and what are we going to build together and what is happening here? So, and Mars, the other love planet, is already in Capricorn and has been since January 4th. So now both of them are there till right around Valentine's Day. Mars is leaving February 13th, but Venus is here till the 16th. So if you were hoping to put a ring on it or whatever age of Aquarius version of commitment, whatever that looks like to you, this is a very favorable time to talk about the future with someone or even make a move toward it. Or if you're single and you've kind of, been wanting to figure out what your 2024 love plan is all about, well, of course, you can read our 2024 horoscope guide for a little advice and direction. But we suggest putting some things in action with Capricorn, Venus and Mars in Capricorn. You can look ahead and work backwards. It's kind of like having a cosmic love coach for yourself, or make that two. Cast the viewfinder out, maybe 6 months, a year. Where would you like to be 6 months from now? Okay, well, what milestones do you need to achieve along the way, at the halfway mark, at the quarter mark? What could you do every week? What could you do every day? And it's not just romantic relationships with Venus, it's all of your relationships, including with yourself, your body, your self-care, your kids, your family members, your friends. So really putting some rituals or traditions or uh, patterns in place. Like, okay, we have Taco Tuesday. That's a really bad one, but whatever we have we have a phones free dinner every Sunday night, or
Right.
every night. We go for a walk every Sunday morning and pick up a latte, whatever it is, just that quality over quantity. But it's quality time in a sequence, in a repeatable, systematized pattern. That's Venus and Capricorn in a nutshell. Now, will say that Venus and Mars and Capricorn together will bring a lot of creativity and momentum to business, which is great because this is our first full week of the Sun and Pluto together in Aquarius. So we're going to have a lot distracting us, and now Venus and Mars and Capricorn can help us stay focused and committed. Of course, you know, it's not going to be all work and no play. Yep. On Thursday, we've got the first full moon of 2024, and it's in Leo, heart-centered, playful, passionate Leo. And it's really about courage and being bold and taking a chance. So even if this Capricorn and even Aquarius energy is a little heady and detached and cautious, Leo is like, screw it, do it. Take a leap, use your heart, not your head, and just follow it. And let everyone see you. Yes, it's all your glory, whether you're like the messiest reality star, or or you have talents that you haven't been sharing with the world. If there's ever a day to roll those out, it's almost like this is a talent show and an early Valentine's week in one. I always think that Valentine's Day has a calendar error because it happens right at the end of Aquarius season, and Aquarius is a sign of friendship and casual connections. But just a few days later, 4 days later, the sun moves into Pisces, which is the hopeless romantic. So if we could just scoot Valentine's Day forward about a week or less, we would all be in so much more of a romantic instead of a rebellious mood. So I am voting that you do your early Valentine's celebrations this week. Thursday, that's always a great date night or night to go out with friends, galentines, palentines, whatever you want to call it. This Leo full moon is all about unleashing that playful, fun loving, passionate spirit. Okay, but there is a little caveat to this year's Leo full moon. True. Because the new moons and full moons, we look at what are called the aspects, their relationships, their angles to other planets. So, like characters in a movie, they're in a scene together that day. And this full moon is at odds. It's at a square, a challenging 90-degree angle to Jupiter and Taurus, and it's opposite Pluto, secretive Pluto. So, a little bit of holding back, strategizing. I know we just told you to let it all hang out, but maybe practice, rehearse in the mirror, do a few trial runs first, plan out the outfit, make the reservation, come prepared, don't completely wing it. Now, we have come up with a new way of talking about the new and full moons this year. We are calling each one each one has been assigned a garden because a lot of times you'll hear astrologers talking about planting seeds at the new moon, harvesting, manifesting at the full moon. So the Leo garden is a garden of joy. So we are going to be harvesting from 6 months ago when there was a new moon, late summer in Leo of 2023. We're going to be harvesting from that period of time. That was an interesting time because Venus was retrograde in Leo. So there may have been some missed connections, some, lovelorn moments that that you never quite got over. Well, there could be a joyful reconnection for a lot of people. Maybe timing is on your side now. Or if there's something you really want to go back, like, oh, I wish I would have said that. I wish I didn't do that. And you need to kind of really express your appreciation for someone that maybe you kind of gave the cold shoulder to or projected onto. This Leo full moon on Thursday, January 25th, offers a chance, a do over where appropriate. We're not suggesting you open up any toxic cauldrons if you really do need to let go of someone, but maybe you forgive yourself or you do a healing ritual or really family gratitude for what you learned about yourself. One of my favorite rituals that I recommend, which is a great one to do at a Leo full moon, is to write a letter of apology to yourself as though it's written from someone who hurt you. The one that they are not enough in touch with their higher self while on this earth in a body to ever write to you, you can still write it. And, I don't know if anyone remembers the old, now at this point, it's probably almost 20 years old, that movie, What the Bleep Do We Know Anyway? It's still an amazing movie about the mind. And I always remember this part where they talked about the same, if you're running a race as an athlete or watching, with like VR goggles or whatever they had, just watching someone run a race, the same muscles will start to fire, whether you're actually running or feeling like you're experiencing that person. So I believe that we can get the same kind of download of healing by writing that letter too, almost like you're channeling that person's higher self. So, dear you, I'm so sorry that I couldn't be the person you wanted me to be. It wasn't you, it was me, whatever version of that. I've written a few of those, and so release yourself from this obsession over that person. You just gave me my 2024 workout plan, Ophi. I'm going to watch races. So you'll never see me run. The only way those muscles will fire is with VR goggles on. But we're really going to be, we probably all will need to move our bodies because there's going to be so much energy this weekend, especially Saturday. The Sun and Jupiter are forming one of their two annual squares, which is like, so the Sun is like big energy, whatever, and it is the ruler of Leo.
And that's on
And then,
Saturday.
yeah, Saturday, and it's squaring Jupiter, which is the maximizer. Now, a square is a 90-degree angle. It can be very challenging, it can also be very dynamic. So there's going to be a desire to make everything big and powerful and, an impulsive energy. That same day, Uranus ends a 5-month retrograde that began last August 28th. Uranus rules electricity, our life force energy, our innovations. It's that.
It's a lot of pent up. And I
Yeah.
I said this in the monthly podcast. We have to be careful when Uranus turns direct or goes out of retrograde because there's a lot of repressed rage and just off energy that does get released. So I want to put a warning label. I mean, the Sun Jupiter square will unleash a lot of egos and big talk. I'm actually glad that's happening on a Saturday so nobody ends up at a pitch meeting hearing someone break their arm patting themselves on the back or being oversold, overpromised, and underdelivered. But that could happen if you go out and meet someone like, oh my God, I just met the most amazing person, and they're full of crap. So,
Yeah.
but Uranus retrograde has coincided with, you know, shootings and that sort of thing almost every time. So I now feel just responsible to say when it happens, not to end the week on a scary or downer note, but just be careful when you're out in public over the weekend and around the full moon because there could be just some people who are out who are not well or who have just are hitting a breaking point. You have to let that energy settle. But on a positive note, if you are being careful with everything that you do, then just it's a great day to also unleash your wild, innovative ideas and let your individuality come out. And
I would meet for a power brunch, actually, if anything, or maybe have one at your house. Host one because Mercury, the savvy, strategic Mercury and go-getter Mars are conjunct, meaning they're at the same degree of Capricorn on Saturday, which is an awesome day to really uh work through some plans, do some mind mapping, some strategizing, some, not just vision boarding, but actually.
like a winter whiteboarding session on Saturday. Maybe it's my Capricorn rising, but I personally love working on a Saturday sometimes when like all those ideas that you didn't have time to put down. This is my creative side really, but like, during the week you're interrupted by meetings and calls and emails and things. And then you have this full, expansive, spacious day to just be as creative as you can and let the ideas really build into something. That is the perfect use of at least one small block of time on Saturday.
And Sunday too, because Sunday is going to be like power, but in a
Sunday is
different way.
Valentine's Day. I'm
Yeah.
different because we've got Venus and Jupiter. Those are two called the benefics, the most positive, helpful, good-natured planets, and they're in a trine, a harmonious angle to each other. So, when Venus and Jupiter get together, and in Earth signs, it's always one of the best days for love and friendship and connection and creativity. So, and Venus is magnetic. Venus also rules the magnetizing of money. It's in Capricorn, which is about resources and wealth, and Jupiter is about abundance, and it's in Taurus, the sign of money. So,
But it's not going to come from sitting down at a desk the way it would on Saturday, because I would suggest getting out and like getting the idea machine whirring. You could be at a museum, you could be on a road trip with a friend and hatch a this idea. That's true.
yeah,
Just be out, like soaking up inspiration.
get out in nature too. I mean, they're both in Earth signs, so this would be a good ski, snowboard, winter walk, hike, whatever. Just get out into the wide, expansive. Jupiter loves big open spaces. Venus loves natural beauty. So, yeah, it's a really busy week in the stars. So,
And I will just add one thing to Sunday, that Venus Jupiter trine for people for love. It's another, you said it's Valentine's Day, true. And also, but it's the kind of day where you can finally have those big conversations where it's kind of a say anything day. Venus is diplomatic. Jupiter loves the truth. So, like, it's a day where you can really share what's in your heart with someone and say those outrageous, you may be like, oh my God, I was so afraid to tell you that. But you won't be outrageous because they're in earth signs. So you'll be able to share the big feelings, but in a grounded way. So
audacious. Audacious and centered at the same time. It's a great. So this is a really busy week. So in summary of what we just said, sum it all up. We've got love planets in Capricorn, so love and creativity and friendship need plans, need rituals, need traditions and continuity, rapid follow through. It's not just a one and done. That was the greatest thing ever. See you in a year. Let's see if we can put something in the calendar that's manageable, doable, and repeatable. We've got the Leo full moon on Thursday, big feelings, the Sun Jupiter square, Uranus retrograde. So the back half of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, a lot of energy, a lot of egos, a lot of passion, a lot of reactions. You want to manage your way through that and just keep your bearings. If you're around someone who's overly activated, just separate if you can. And then, winter whiteboarding on Saturday, capture the ideas, and a big Valentine's Day 1.0, 2.0, or prequel, let's just say, on Sundays. So that is the week, and we'll be rolling into February soon. Can't believe we're already at the end of the first month of 2024. If you don't yet have our 2024 horoscope book, please head over to astrostyle.com/2024-books with an S. We're putting all these links in the show notes.
And we do want to tell you about something really special that we're offering this year for the first time since 2019 and for the first time ever in this way. If you are somebody who wants to integrate astrology into your business or simply learn how to read charts masterfully and confidently, we have something for you. Our Become Your Own Astrologer certification program will begin on February 24th. We have limited spaces and we're taking applications. For years, you guys have been asking us, when are you going to teach us astrology? Well, we used to do that from 2013 to 2019 at this amazing retreat in Tulum, Mexico. We would bring 20 women and basically take over a amazing Shambhala Petite hotel right on the beach. Those of you who are there will remember the magic fondly with us. But unfortunately, we could only fit 20 people there. So we've decided to turn this into something with, a wider audience for everyone around the world. And we would love it if you're hearing the call, if you apply. We are already filling up spaces, but we do have some room left. astrostyle.com/BYOA-apply. BYOA stands for Become Your Own Astrologer, because that is what you will be able to do by the end of this 8-week course. Astrology is something, we're still learning. We've been doing this for 30 years basically now, and there's always something new to learn. But there are fundamental things, planets, signs, houses, degrees, aspects that are part of reading any sort of chart. And we have figured out a great system for teaching that anyone can understand. So we hope, if you're hearing the call, that you'll go fill out the application, and we will be back next week with more Astro Jams. See you then.
As always, thanks for listening. You can discover more of your star power at astrostyle.com, and be sure to follow us on social at AstroTwins. Join us next time for more cosmic fun.